Let us try to solve the fourth problem, and that fourth problem reads as follows. Write a program to accept and find the largest number among the set of integers. So what is the question really means is, you are given a set of integers, and you are supposed to find the largest among them, and you know very well the largest among the given set that you have seen here. So if you take this set, what is the largest is definitely the 56. So this is what you are supposed to do. You have to accept a set of n integers and then try to find the largest among them. So let's try to solve this problem. I'm going to go to my Notepad++. Again, let me tell you that some of you may prefer to directly type in the Ubuntu environment. You can do so. There is nothing wrong in trying them. But I am going to show the recording in the Notepad. The reason is with the background like this, it may be very difficult for you to watch the video on a mobile device. So let's, in any case, you are free to do the whatever you want to do it. So you can type it in the Notepad and then paste it onto the Linux environment, or use the Linux environment altogether for doing everything. So the option is yours. So let's continue with that note. Let me continue with the problem now. The first thing I'm going to do over here is I'm going to set the language, and my language is going to be the shell. So I will go to the language and set the language there. Once I have done that thing, let me type the program. So I'm going to say enter the maximum number of elements. This is the n that I'm talking about, maximum number of elements that you wish to use. Let me suppress the new line by putting n over here, and let me read the maximum count. So let's do that thing. So I'll read the maximum count, and suppose if the user has given a maximum count which is 0 or less than 0, then there is no point in saying that. So you can have a null set here. So you can have a null set. That is what is the meaning of saying null set. There are no elements in that. Which among them is the largest? I don't know according to mathematics which is the largest, but according to us, you can't find the maximum. So if let me say max count is greater than 0, then you can think of doing anything. Otherwise, there is no point in going ahead with the program. And I'm going to say, please enter a number greater than or equal to 1. Okay, some information. So that means to say that I'm telling the user that you are supposed to type something which is greater than or equal to 1. 1 means that element itself will be the maximum. So let me first read the first element, echo, and I'm going to say enter the value of first element. Okay, so I'm going to read the value of the first element, and I'm going to call this element as en. You can take anything. So I'm going to suppress again the new line here. Now why did I read it directly is, suppose you are given a set of numbers. So let's say you have the numbers, set of numbers. Let me put them in a beautiful way. Suppose there is only one element that is given. Which is the largest among them? Naturally, this itself will be the largest. So I am reading the first element. Okay, if I'm able to read the first element, that itself will be the largest one. What if there are other elements are there? If the other elements are there, then you need to compare them. That's all. Okay, if there is only one person competing, then that person himself will be the winner. And during the election, that is what happens. If there are no challenges, that person, the candidate, will be declared as elected without the election. So simple as that. So you have only one element. That element that you are thinking of using, this element itself will be the largest. Or how do I take that thing? I'm going to consider the largest. Take this as largest equal to n itself, not the number. Largest equal to n itself. So that will be the largest element. Now suppose if there are other elements are there, so that is what I told you. If you have more than one element, let me start a while loop for reading all of them. So I will start I is equal to 2. Now you may ask the question, what is why I is equal to 2? I refers to the element. The first element I have already read. The first element is already read. So I'm going to read from the second element. If you don't have the second element, if there is only one element, you are the luckiest one. You got whatever entered value itself will be the largest. Suppose if you have some other element, apart from this, if there are some other element, then you need to compare all of them and find which among them is the largest. Okay, so if I'm going to start with the I is equal to 2. So I'm going to say I is less than or equal to dollar max count. So I'm going to start. So maximum count is the maximum number of elements which are there in the set. So you may have 5 elements, 10 elements, or anything. So I'm going to start from the second element, third element, fourth element, and so on up to the nth element. I'm going to read them in the while loop. So I'm going to start with the do, and I'm going to say done. Now let me start reading it. Because I'm using Windows and you know how to use the copy paste, I'm going to use the Control C and I'm going to use the Control B to copy paste it. This is the second element. Now when you have two elements, then the comparison will come. What to do? So you have only one element. So this is what you had only one element. That itself will be the largest. Suppose if you have the second element or third element or any number of element, you have to compare it, which among them is the largest. When there was only one element with you, you declared that that itself is the largest one. Now when you compare it, you may find that the other element is the largest one. In that case, you will have to remove this and then put the largest element. So let me do the comparison. How do you do the comparison? So it is simple as that. So if n, the number that you have just read, is greater than the largest, if that's the case, then what you are going to do? You are going to take the largest equal to n. That means you are going to consider that itself as the largest one. So what is the meaning? What is this one? So you are going to start with the first element. There was first element was there with you, and that first element was 5. You took that as the largest one, but now you find that there is one other element which is larger than that. So what you are going to do? Your previous assumption that this first element itself was the greatest is wrong. So you are going to say that no, that is not the case. The new element that you have inputted now, the new element that you have read now, will be the one that will be the largest. Now if you run this particular program, what will happen is every time it's going to show you enter one element, enter one element, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the value of this I here as a counter. I will start with the 2. For the next iteration, I will become 3. So this is going to be enter the second element, enter the third element, and so on. So this number is going to change. How do you do that thing? Just replace it with the value of I. So when I is equal to 2, it's going to say enter the second element. When I is equal to 3, it's going to say the element will be the third element, and so on and so forth. Now let me increase the value of I. So in C++ you would have done I++, but this is not going to work here. If you want to do this kind of thing, there is a bit difficult task of first getting the expression evaluated, and then you need to do this one. So this is a slightly complicated one, but it is nothing but I is equal to I plus 1. So your while loop will keep on iterating for I value. I is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on until you get the maximum count. Once you get the maximum count, that itself, whatever value you get, that itself will be the largest one. So final thing I'm going to do, the final touch I'm going to do is I'm going to say echo the largest element in the set is, I'm going to put that thing, what is this one, largest. So that will be the largest element. So this is what we are going to do it. So very simple program. So this is what you will show. Let me copy this whole thing, Control C from here, and let me go to the Ubuntu here. I am in the BSC now. For your kind information, I will go to the desktop first by typing CD, and let me zoom in for you if it is not visible. I'm not sure whether it is visible or not. I will do ls. There is a BSC, so I'm going to say CD BSC. So I'm inside BSC. You will notice that I'm inside BSC, and if I do the ls here, I will see my previous work, whatever I have done. Let me create one more file. So I'm going to say nano exb4.sh. This is the fourth program. So I have the nano with me. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to write it to a file. So Control O, press enter, Control X to exit it. So I'm back here. Let me type sh exb4.sh. Press enter. It's going to say what is the maximum number of element. Let me put some maximum number of element. Let's say 3 elements. So I'm going to type the first element, value of the first element. So value of the first element will be 56. Value of the second element is 3. Value of the next element, third element will be 100, and I must get the largest element in this set is 100. Okay, let me try one more time, and I'm going to take again 3 elements are there. So I'll take the 3 elements. The first element is -5. I am not doing this one. Please don't think that I want to irritate you, but it is irritating me also. If I zoom it, this is going to come, but I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it on your monitor, the mobile. So let's look at the second element, and whatever I do, it's going to take me there. So second element is -8. Third element is -2. Now, can you tell me which is the greatest among these 3 numbers? What's your guess? Okay, so if your guess is 2, then it is correct. Otherwise, you please take a tuition in mathematics. So this is what you're going to get it. So the reason why I did, some of you may be thinking, why didn't I put this, why did I took this first element out and made that as the initialization? Most of you, what you do is, you will do this one. You will take that largest is equal to 0, and you will do it. Remember, if you do it with the largest equal to 0, and if all the numbers that are inputted, all these numbers inputted are negative, you will show that the largest among them is 0, which itself is not inputted. If you look at the output over here, the 0 itself is not inputted. But if you do that trick, but most frequently used trick by the student is they initialize largest equal to 0, and then they start then they start comparing whether the largest is less than n or not. That will work only for positive number. Remember, the question given here is integers. Integers include both plus and minus, including 0. So you must be careful with what you are doing. And now, because we have done everything, if you really want to show a colorful message, you are free to do it. Now, this is not something that You should do it, but now maybe you want to show a colorful message, you can do that thing. I'm see now, if you have seen me doing this, you will notice that okay, so I think 41 was the color. M has to be there. Okay. And let me, I wrote that number there. I don't know where I kept that number. Okay, 33 was not that number. Okay, so not this one. Where is the my program? I did I give 41? Not 41. Let's say 31. Let me make it as 31. And I will. That is the message that I want to show to the user, that this is something that you are not supposed to write. So 0M to get it in the other way around. Let me copy it. Control C to copy it, and let me go to the nano here, and let me remove that file first. Remove what was the name I gave, exb4.sh, and I will nano it, paste it. I will not zoom it out, because you know very well what I'm trying to do is just copy that and then paste it. By now you know, even if you can't see it. I'm going to run this one. Okay, again the same thing. Now I'm going to zoom in for you so that you can see what I was doing. I'll type 0. Maximum number of element is 0. I must get, oh, I'm not able to get 033. Okay, now what is wrong with that? Did I copied it, by the way? Slash 033. Am I doing it? Where is that? Third. Did I do it in the proper? Oh, I'm sorry. I put the colon there. I'm supposed to put the semicolon. Anyhow, let me do it one more time. Just to make the output beautiful. That's all. This is all work is done. So you have done your work. Just make the things a bit beautiful. That's all. So I'm going to just paste it, and Control O, Control X, and sh4b as 0, and I want to see, okay, so this is what something like you get the error message in red color. Okay, that's all. Thank you. It's a very small program. You can try it during the examination. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next class.